Hello and welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe. The absence of Donald Trump from the campaign trail that lasted for months is about to end. The former president will make back-to-back appearances on Saturday in New Hampshire and South Carolina, unveiling his leadership team in the Palmetto State from the steps of the Statehouse in an effort to maximize his status as the only Republican presidential candidate who has declared so far for 2024. Trump has an opportunity to re-energize his sluggish campaign during his two appearances in two early voting states before any of his rivals join him in the primary field. Aides to the former president also believe that his return to the campaign trail will help alleviate electability concerns about his ability to defeat President Joe Biden in a rematch, which have been voiced both publicly and privately by allies, former advisors, and some of his soon-to-be opponents. At the state party's annual meeting in Salem on Saturday, Trump will first put his strength as a candidate to the test when he delivers the keynote address to hundreds of Republican leaders and grassroots activists. After that, he will travel to South Carolina, the state that helped him become the GOP nominee in 2016, and where he is likely to announce a few endorsements in an effort to replicate that performance. GOP Senator Lindsey Graham will provide one of these endorsements. Trump's 2024 campaign has already received support from Republican Governor Henry McMaster and newly elected GOP Representative Russell Fry, both of whom plan to attend as a show of support. The former president is still very popular in South Carolina, but there are other factors that could hurt him, like the other candidates in the race or how he would do in a primary versus a general election. He's won one right now, and the election in 2024 would be the tiebreaker, I suppose, stated Jim Merrill, who served as Trump's 2016 campaign's state director. Following Meta's announcement on Thursday that his Facebook and Instagram accounts will soon be reinstated and recent revelations that classified documents were found at the homes of both Biden and former Vice President Mike Pence, Trump's current allies assert that he is heading out on the campaign trail with the wind in his sails. The former president, who has attempted to claim credit for persuading McCarthy skeptics to back the California Republican following a days-long standoff on the House floor, also cited Kevin McCarthy's successful, if lengthy, bid for House Speaker as a turning point. In addition, Trump has opened a new campaign office in Palm Beach, just miles from his Mar-a-Lago estate, in recent weeks. In addition, he has relocated a number of staff members to Florida. It definitely feels good. We feel good, stated a Trump associate. However, a number of Palmetto State sources claim that the enthusiasm that propelled Trump to a first-place finish in the South Carolina primary in 2016, with a margin of victory of double digits, isn't nearly as palpable this time around. That could be due to the fact that Senator Tim Scott and former Governor Nikki Haley, both native South Carolinians, are considering running for president as well. This could attract voters who would rather have a new candidate on the ticket or prefer candidates from their own state. South Carolina State Senator Wes Clymer, who will not be attending Trump's event on Saturday, stated, "I think a lot of folks are keeping their powder dry until Nikki or Tim make a decision, and I would be in that category." Clymer will not be attending Trump's event. Clymer claimed that he will stay at home with his 5 young children instead. For very good reasons, Nikki and Tim have a lot of friends across the state. Nikki made an outstanding governor. Tim is a truly exceptional senator, Clymer stated, and I think a lot of people in South Carolina are anxious to see what either or both of them decide with regard to a decision made by the president. In recent weeks, Republican operative and executive director of the South Carolina Policy Council, Dallas Woodhouse, told CNN that, despite Trump's previous success in the state, many voters are not set on supporting him in 2024. Even though Trump has twice won South Carolina, a deeply red state that hasn't voted for a Democratic candidate since 1976, his defeat in the 2020 election and the underperformance of Trump-backed candidates in key 2022 battleground races have raised questions about whether or not he will be able to win back the presidency in 2 years. Woodhouse stated that while Republicans in South Carolina still seem to have fond feelings of Trump, there are a certain amount of people that have fallen out of favor with him and a large number of people who are interested in winning, and they do not believe that he is the best path to win. A source close to Trump refuted the notion that GOP officials in the state had turned on Trump and insisted that there would be a strong showing on Saturday. However, another state operative stated that many prominent Republicans and state officials would not be attending Trump's event. State Attorney General Alan Wilson, whom the 45th president endorsed for re-election last year, is one official who will not attend Trump's event. In an email, his spokesperson, Robert Kittle, stated, Attorney General Wilson is unable to attend due to his involvement in the ongoing Murdaugh trial and other official conflicts. Additional inquiries regarding Wilson's plans for endorsement in the 2024 primary were not answered by Kittle. Two Republican strategists in the state said they thought Trump's decision to hold a campaign event on a Saturday was odd because state legislators typically want to spend time with their families when they are in session. It is not clear how many members of Trump's leadership team from South Carolina in 2016 have agreed to support his 2024 campaign. Ed McMullen, the former U.S. ambassador to Switzerland and Liechtenstein, responded via email that he was traveling for business in Europe at the moment. When asked if he would join Trump's leadership team again this cycle, he did not respond. McMullen was the South Carolina chairman of Trump's first presidential campaign. He later worked on Trump's transition team and inauguration committee after he was elected president. In the meantime, the former lieutenant CNN received confirmation from Governor Andre Bauer that he will attend Saturday's event and is a member of Trump's 2024 leadership team in the state. Just days after the former governor appeared closer than ever to launching her own 2024 campaign in an interview with Fox News, Bauer took an early swipe at Haley. "Keep an eye out," Haley had advised the network. Bauer, who in 2010 lost a gubernatorial primary to Haley, stated, "She won't even scratch." Former South Carolina GOP chairman Keaton Dawson, one of Haley's supporters, stated that the Trump campaign hasn't had much of a presence in the state since he started his bid for the White House in November. Additionally, Dawson stated that Trump's endorsements are nice to have, but that's not going to name the winner of the South Carolina primary as he prepares to issue them. According to a person who is familiar with the situation, Trump aides and allies have spent much of the past week calling lawmakers in South Carolina to try to get a big turnout for the former president's campaign event, which will be at the State House. According to a few people who are familiar with the situation, Graham has also been making calls in the state on Trump's behalf in an effort to garner support for him. The South Carolina senator, who said he was done with Trump shortly after the attack on the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, has since become the former president's regular golf partner. Several state lawmakers have informed Trump's campaign that they are unable to make it or want to remain neutral until the GOP primary field is determined. The efforts have resulted in mixed results. "I suppose people want to ensure that a candidate is sincere before voting for them. It is clear that Nikki has a following. Obviously, South Carolinians have certainly heard about Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin," stated Merrill, the former state director for the Trump campaign. "Tim is almost universally liked." Merrill went on to say, "There is some wariness over the whole drama that follows President Trump's